Hey everybody, and welcome to another Bribookreviews video. I know it's another really long hiatus since my last video, and I'm not going to say I'm back for good. I have come to the realization and accepted that I may or may not be here on the regular like I would like to be. When I started this channel like 4 or 5 years ago, I was definitely more available to do videos, and now, you know, life has just gotten so much busier for me, and I have a lot of major changes happening here in the next like 6 months, so I don't know how much on the regular I will be making videos, but I missed you guys so much, and I just have been watching a lot of videos recently, and I was like, no, I need to record something. So let's not really go into long explanations, let's just go into what we want to talk about, which is about the books. So this video is going over what I read this year so far, so January, February, and also I'm going to talk about what I am currently reading. I know I read these this year because my Goodreads says I did, but I have no idea like what order in which I read these. Some of them I listened to on Audible, some of them I read physical copies for. Audiobooks, I've listened to a lot of audiobooks recently. Actually, pretty much the entire end of the year, I re-listened to the entire Harry Potter series. I've never actually listened to the audiobooks for those. They were absolutely fantastic. I gave all of them, obviously, 5 out of 5 stars. I think one of the first ones I listened to in January was Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. This is the duology by her, which has been getting a lot of hype this past like year or two, especially since the second book, Crooked Kingdoms, came out this end of this past year. This one was okay. Don't get me wrong, I loved this duology. It's like one of my all-time top favorite book series right now. The second book, though, was definitely a lot better than this one, in my opinion. I think this one just, you know, was setting everything up and introducing all the characters, and there are a lot of characters. With setup books, they tend not to be the best for me, but I still gave this book, I want to say I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I did listen to Crooked Kingdom after that, but I don't have the actual physical copy. I just listened to it on Audible. Like I said, I highly enjoyed that. I wouldn't say way better than Six of Crows, but definitely, you know, it's the last book, so it was like a major thing for me. I really enjoyed it. I loved all the characters, the diversity in this book. I've always been looking for my more diverse books in reading, but lately I've been kind of looking at what I have on my shelves and thinking to myself that there isn't a good variety, so I've been kind of scouring the internet for like lists of things, but I'm very picky because I have to have fantasy, fantastical elements. I'm not a contemporary book reader. I mean, I have been in the past. I've been in moods where I want to, and I have read some amazing contemporary books and have loved them. In the last few years, it's been fantasy. I've been on the hunt to find diverse fantasy books. And that's kind of gonna go into what I'm currently reading right now. I'm ranting now. Anyways, Crooked Kingdoms, I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. It was awesome. I do plan on purchasing the physical copy because it's just beautiful. I mean, I love Six of Crows, how it has this like the black edging, and then Crooked Kingdom says the red pages. I need them on my shelf. The next one I listened to on Audible was Carve the Mark by Veronica Roth, which I know has a lot of problems. A lot of people have a lot of problems with this book. I honestly like don't even remember what the story was really about because I didn't really enjoy this book. I listened to it, but I wasn't really paying attention to it enough to really tell you like my reasonings why. Although I know that everybody online is kind of talking about the problems with this book, and I see the problems with this book, and I completely 100% agree. It's too boring for me. I was bored. So I told you guys that I listened to the entire Harry Potter series. After that, I was like, I need to read another middle grade fantasy, so I decided, you know what? I have not finished the Rick Riordan books that I have, so I decided to pick up The Mark of Athena by Rick Riordan. This is the third book in the Heroes of Olympus series, and I tried to pick this book up a really long time ago. Like when I purchased this, I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, I picked it up, read some of it, put it down, completely forgot about it, and then reread Harry Potter here at the end of this past year and really wanted to pick up the rest of this series. I gave it 3.5 out of 5 stars, but only because I did not feel like rereading the parts that I had already read in this book. Like when I picked this up in January, I was already about halfway through this book from the last time I picked it up 2 years ago, and I just really didn't feel like rereading this from the beginning. So what I ended up doing was I looked up reviews, watched a couple videos about it, about people talking about it, and then finished reading it. So I really enjoyed it, don't get me wrong. I just was too stubborn to go back and reread it from the beginning, which kind of hindered my opinion about the book, because I should have reread it, but I didn't. So the ending of this book, though, was crazy, which is why I am currently in the middle of reading House of Hades by Rick Riordan, and actually I'm almost done with this book. I took my bookmark out because I'm actually listening to this on audio, and I really like the audiobook. The part where Nico confronts Cupid is like my favorite part in this book, and I felt so bad for him. I'm not done yet, so I don't know, if he gets some sort of happy ending. Don't tell me, don't spoil anything for me, but I was just like, my heart was broken for him. I am going to be finishing this today and then moving on with the last book. I also picked up Nevernight by Jay Kristoff. This is the first book in his newest series, the Nevernight series. I really enjoyed this. I honestly did not enjoy it as much as other people, though. I had a couple problems, and I'm going to spoil something right now, so if you don't want to be spoiled, I'm going to hold my hand up, and when I put my hand down, you can, re-listen, mute it until my hand is down. Okay? Alright, we're good. Literally the first chapter in this book is a sex scene, which I'm not, against. I'm an adult, I can read sex in books, I have no problem with that. My problem is the main character, Mia. She's not having sex in the beginning of this book for the enjoyment. She actually has, the most grotesque description of the guy that she's doing it with, and she absolutely hated having sex with that person. And I feel like the author didn't need to throw that in there. It really had nothing to do with the rest of the series. I just felt it was very unnecessary, the way she described that the guy she was doing it with was gross and that she wasn't enjoying it at all, and that I feel like, to me, what I got out of it is the character was only doing it because she felt like she needed to not be a virgin before she could be an assassin. I was really confused as to why that was even put in there. The other thing that I didn't like about this book is the whole thing where they needed to change their face. Everyone had to get a facelift almost and look perfect and pristine and beautiful. And I was like, why? Aren't you supposed to be assassins who blend in with people? You should look normal and not beautiful and perfect. And why? I don't know. Anyways, so I don't know if I'll be continuing the series. I did really like the magic system in here. Her not Shadowcat thing was really cool. The last physical book that I picked up, and this one I completely read, not listened to at all, I was pretty proud of myself, was The Alchemist of Loom by Elise Kova, and this is the first book in a new series. I really enjoyed this. I picked it up because honestly it was a cover buy. I saw a couple big YouTubers picking it up, but what really attracted me to it was the cover of the book, and I was sold. But I really enjoyed it. I liked the main characters, Ari and Chevre, I think is how you pronounce the dragon's name. There's pronunciations in the back, and I want to say that's how you say it, but I'm not 100% sure. Anyways, I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars. I really, really enjoyed it. And the last thing I read, I want to say it was in January, was some Avatar: The Last Airbender comics. This is the first part, The Promise. This is continuation from the cartoon series, and I absolutely love this cartoon. It is one of my favorites. This really goes more into depth about, you know, what happens after, how a country can run after such a long ongoing war, and I really, really, really enjoyed it, and I can't wait to pick up the next part, which is, I believe, The Search, which will go more into about what happened to Zuko's mother, and I can't wait to figure out that because I always wondered what the hell happened to her. Other than that, I am currently reading Berserk Volume 2 by Kentaro Miura. I decided to go ahead and start reading this series. I want to say that Dark Horse has started to republish this, because wherein before it was really difficult to find these volumes, now you can find them on Amazon pretty cheap again. Since it's easier to get a hold of, I decided to go ahead and start reading it. I did read Volume 1, but I just read it in March, so it's going to be in my March wrap-up, but I decided to let you guys know. The other book that I'm reading is Imara by Charles Saunders. This is a fantasy set in an alternative Africa. It's really good so far. It's very thin, but there's a lot of words on the pages, so it actually takes me quite a long time just to finish one page. And the only problem I'm having with this right now, the only problem I'm having, is that the chapters are so long. But other than that, like, the story is fantastic so far, and I will probably go more in a separate video about this, but again, I've been trying to find more diverse books, and this was kind of the ones that I had found in my list of diverse fantasy, so I am excited to continue. I am about 40 pages in. I'm highly enjoying it so far though. So that is all for this video. Stay tuned. I will be pre-recording a few videos, so you will see me in this same outfit here. And as always, please leave comments down below, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye!